What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've filmed. I've just been doing a lot of body work, and so I didn't want to really bore anybody because there's like a billion videos on YouTube on body work. So I'm gonna try kind of go through where I'm at now with the car, and then I have a little surprise for you. So this is her taken apart for the 100th time. Every time I hit a new stage, I drive it for like 10 miles and then I take it back apart. It's real fun. So pretty much I'm just getting it ready to paint. This is the first side that I did with the body molding, and I didn't really like how it was done afterwards, just because I learned a lot of what not to do on this side. And so the other side's pretty good, but this side just was really wavy and I didn't like it. So I just went back through and redid body filler, and so I'm sanding that down. And then I've just been sanding down the rest of the car, getting it ready for paint. So yeah, real fun. I don't recommend it to anybody. But yeah. And I think that's really it. Oh, I'm building a gas door because this kit doesn't come with one. Most people just put the old one back in, but it doesn't match the contour of the body line, so I think it looks stupid. No offense to for the people who just put the stock one back on. You're not stupid. But yeah, another thing I'm doing before I paint, I cut out the original body of the car because I was rubbing, and then I'm going to be welding. I don't know if you can see. Oh, you can see. Welding pieces of metal in there to seal it off. That way, yeah, it doesn't rub anymore. And I'll be able to actually drive it in the rain if I want to, without worrying about getting water behind everything starting to rust. And then another thing I'm doing is I put adjustable trailing arms in, because after you raise or lower a vehicle, it pushes the axle backwards and just messes with the geometry of the suspension and the squat angle or something like that. And so, and normally you can get away with it and it doesn't really matter, but the main reason I'm doing it is because I was rubbing on this corner. This is where the bumper attaches, but I was rubbing on the corner here, and so if I just scooted it in, I just scooted them in like 10 millimeters, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's enough to get it off that corner if it does rub. So that's the main reason I did that. And people say that you can actually tell a difference when you bring it back to where it should be, so hopefully I can. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this car. And now for the surprise. The shop's clean. Kinda. Oh, and we have a new build. So if you don't know how dirty this shop was when I first moved to California, you could barely even walk through this section, let alone park a car in here. So one of the first, I think it was within the first week that I moved here, we actually cleared out this spot that my car is sitting in, just because that was like my one request, was to have somewhere that I could work on my car. So we did that, and if you want to watch that progress, that's I think my second video. So we've been slowly cleaning this other side. It was hard because on this side it was just like a bunch of our stuff, or my in-laws stuff, that we could just like move around. But when it came to this side, there was a lot more people's stuff that we didn't really know what to do with it. So it took us several more weeks to slowly do. And this is, like, obviously, I'm not like a full-time YouTuber. Like, we're ranchers. We have almond trees that we do and other things. And so, like, this is just something I do on my spare time. And so, just in between doing jobs on the ranch, we've just slowly cleaned up here, because yeah, our goal is to be able to have this section of the shop like kind of an automotive shop. Eventually we want to get lifts in here, and obviously there's still more things to clean up, but if you go back and watch my first couple videos, you can see how dirty the shop actually was. So it's pretty exciting to actually have some workspace that we can have two separate builds going on in here and have plenty of room. I don't know if you guys have pieced it together, but this is actually a pretty massive shop. Like, this is just one section of it. So here is our working area.
This used to just be storage area. This is where we used to park a lot of our tractors and equipment. And over the years, they've kind of moved from different barns and stuff. So this used to always kind of just be a storage area.
But here you come, this is the corner, and this is actually a big woodworking shop that Ryan's grandpa built. And it's a super nice shop, has most of the equipment that you would need to do a good job. His cousin is actually doing his kitchen right now. So we come past the wood.
And that's all to the left. Is all, these are just full.
This is like your local hardware store. These are full of,
those are screws.
Completely full of screws.
Washers.
You have bolts, washers.
Nuts.
Almost everything you would need to fix something on the ranch. And that was kind of his grandpa's thing, was he didn't want to go to the store. And really, back then he didn't have the option to go to the store because they didn't really have everything like they do now so available. So he wanted everything available to him at his shop. So pretty crazy. And up here, this is where this is where they would actually work on their tractors. Metal. You have a pit for oil, fluids, whatever. Here you have your grinders, and that's the door to my car. Been working on that. Welders. Yeah, like it's an amazing shop. It's just been kind of neglected the last few years, and so we've spent the last couple months just slowly cleaning it.
And the floor continuously gets dirty if we don't keep those doors closed.
Yeah.
We got plans to hopefully get automatic doors there soon, and so that'll hopefully keep those shut more often and keep the floor a little clean. But and our goal is to eventually go through all of this stuff, because this is just years and years of acquiring stuff. My grandpa would just go to sales and he'd go past a place where they're remodeling. Hey, what are you going to do with these pipes? What are you going to do with that? And they just give it to him. And so we've just acquired so much stuff. And so we want to go through and kind of organize it, put it in sections like how he used to have it. He used to have this thing completely organized in here. And he has a book over here that you could just, hey, I need this part, I need snap rings. And you'd go to S, it was all indexed, and okay, snap rings are in drawer 48, or, you know, and everything was just completely organized. But over the years, it's kind of gotten sloppy. So that's kind of our goal, is to go back through that and organize and inventory everything. So
Get it back to its prime. So yeah, this is the shop that we have. We're pretty lucky. Lots of people would kill for something like this. So yeah, let's get on to showing you the other build. So yeah, this is the new project. You guys probably know Ryan from my first videos. He's been in them a couple times. And this is actually, I'll just let him kind of give the background of this truck. So
Yeah. So this was my grandpa bought this brand new in '63. It was a cattle truck, so it had a big box on there for cattle and it had a trailer that went with it. They used it from '63 all the way up until probably the early '90s, late '80s. And then they didn't do their own cattle anymore, and so my dad took it, repainted it, put on a dump bed so we could have a dump truck. And we used that a little bit, but not too much, and then it sat around. And then the engine seized on it, so then we thought to ourselves, well, let's do a project with it. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're pretty excited for it. What the project we're doing is, this came with a 302 gas motor, and we wanted to do a diesel swap for sure. And we were going to do a Cummins swap just because they're reliable. Everyone knows the Cummins engine is reliable. We wanted to do the 12 valve because it's mechanical, so don't have to worry about wiring or anything. And then we decided to go with, we kind of wanted to stick with the international name, and so we decided on the DT360 engine, which we'll go look at that. Here is the stock engine that came out of it. Just normal V8 looking motor. And then here is what we're putting in it. As you can see, it is a lot bigger.
So this is also the Cummins is a 12 valve 5.9 liter. This is the same exact thing, 5.9 liters, 12 valve. It just is a lot heavier, it's a lot stronger. Cummins can't handle, on its stock head studs and stuff like that, can't handle extreme high horsepower. Whereas this engine on its own stock internals can handle extreme horsepower. We're not looking to go crazy with horsepower, but we do want to bump it up eventually. But this engine's a lot heavier. Because it's stronger than the Cummins, it's a lot heavier than the Cummins. The Cummins, I believe, the 12 valve weighs about 900 pounds. If I'm right, I'd have to look that up. But this, I believe, weighs anywhere 1,200 to 1,300 pounds. So it's pretty heavy engine, pretty big.
Yeah, we weighed this entire engine and transmission, and it weighed 900 pounds. So just the engine here is like 300-400 pounds heavier than the entire engine and transmission of the old setup. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we picked this up in a town just north of here, and we picked it up from a guy, and he had this gauge on here, so it's building 50 psi, which we want. Had 0 blow by, so we're pretty happy with it. So the cab, you can obviously tell when my dad repainted it that he did a great job on the outside, but he didn't want to mess with the interior. He didn't want to mess with trying to strip it down and do that extreme of a job. But it looked great when he had it done on the outside, and that's all you could really see anyway. But when we started taking the cab, when we first started this project, we brought it in, started taking it apart, and we noticed that the floor is completely just rusted out, and it's pretty bad. And yeah, you can probably see it better from the other side. So it was all just completely all rusted out right here. And so we have plans to, kind of the initial plans we have right now is we bought a donor truck for this project for axles and radiator, transmission, that kind of stuff. We're going to use the cab, hopefully be able to use the cab floor and a little bit of the firewall, hopefully, to be able to replace this floor and a little bit of firewall that's bad.
So yeah, like he said, we bought an entire donor truck that we got a really good deal on, and we should be able to use mostly everything from it. So yeah, let's go check that out. Yeah, here we have the donor truck. We've already taken it apart. It was a big box truck that we found this whole thing running for $1,500, which it has a few problems, but we just think the guy didn't know what he had, or he just didn't want to deal with it anymore. It actually came with the bigger DT motor, which is a DT466, and we're either going to sell that or just keep it for another project. But it runs.
Yeah, so the DT466, it's basically just the big brother to the DT360. A little bit longer, it's bigger displacement, but you can use a lot of the same external parts of a 466 on the 360. So we might go through, once we've got our engine mounted and going, we might see if we want to, one of the ways we can pump up, you know, our horsepower is by using the injectors off of the 466 because they're interchangeable. Same as the fuel pump and a few other of the exterior things on the engine are interchangeable. So
yeah, so we are going to be taking axles, transmission, we might use the radiator. It already has a hole in it, so we might have to try and find a different one of those. But and then yeah, we're gonna actually cut the floor and fire wall off this truck and hopefully made it to that other cab. Yeah, let's fire it up and see what it sounds like. They're a really cool sounding engine. We have to jump it every time because it's not charging, but we'll figure that out after the swap. So,
and these motors take a lot of juice, so we'll have to have two 12-volt batteries hooked up to power. And like we said earlier, hey, nothing against Cummins, guys. I've got a Cummins right here.
Yeah, this is his.
Wanted to keep it.
This is his work truck.
We just wanted to keep it international. Just thought it'd be cool to keep it all international. So yeah, this is the work truck. So.
Give it some revs. What's kind of cool about this truck is it's going to have a 10-speed transmission. So it's a I think it's a 4-speed with a 4-speed with a low gear. I think it has, but it has a 2-speed rear end. So you can, it's kind of fun to shift just because you're shifting so much. Rest or flyby. Yeah, this is a long truck.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, here we are back in the shop. Just gonna go over kind of what the plan is for the build besides the swap and everything. So yeah, what we want to do is lower it, and then we will be putting bags on the rear to make it so it's fully adjustable on air. Then we'll just be doing a gooseneck hitch. We'll have gooseneck, and I'm sure we might as well put just a normal hitch on the back too. But we just want a truck that's super cool and unique. There's not a whole lot of guys that have done this build, and so we just want something we can drive around. What's nice is it's actually a short frame, so it's really not much longer than any of the like new trucks. So you could still daily drive this and be able to park it and turn heads while you're going through town. And then with that engine and everything, we could haul almost anything we wanted. Our main goal is to have a truck that we can haul my car, or my father-in-law has 3 other classic cars, and so it'd be fun to haul them to shows and you could just pull up with the truck, trailer, and cars on, or truck, trailer with the cars on it, and that's an entire show, like right there. Just park it, and it'd be really cool to see, so it'll be fun. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just follow along and subscribe, and just check out. We're hopefully going to get this build done, you know, in a timely manner, but it might take us a while. We want to do it right. We want to not cut any corners, and we want to make a nice clean build. So
Yep. Yeah, like he said, like and subscribe. So yeah, I think this will be a pretty fun and unique build to follow. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you in the next video.